Hey everyone, Sam here from GrowBuds, and today I'm going to be unboxing the Autopot 4-pot system and showing you how to assemble it roughly. So the Autopot is really interesting. It's an automatic watering system. It is quite different than other watering systems out there. So it's not a deep water culture system. It's not an ebb and flow. It's not a drip. It actually is a patented gravity-fed watering system. So let's just take a look here at the box itself. We have a lot of information on the product. So it's made by Autopot USA, but the brand is from the UK. So all of the Autopot products are manufactured in the UK, as you can see here. This is the 4-pot system. So here you can see a couple good information about the system itself. It says no more daily watering. The system can be left unattended for weeks. So with the size of the tank, which is 47 liters, you'll be able normally to fill it and feed up to 4 plants for about a week without having to touch the system, and makes it a very unique system. So you don't have to play with timers, pumps, all that stuff. It's just gravity and the Aquavalve, which I'll be showing you later. Easy assembly, low maintenance, and successful growing. Minimal monitoring required again. So these are just perks of the Autopot. So here on the side we have additional information. Here's the beginner guide to potting up. So it is very important when you're using the Autopot. First of all, you want to place the root control disc gold face down in the pot. I'll show you guys later how you do this. And they also recommend putting a layer of washed gravel, perlite, clay pebble. They recommend having a layer at the bottom. This is just to allow it to drain nicely and avoid having moisture accumulation or anything of the sort. So they also recommend using a 50-50 mix with the growing medium you choose. So either cocoa or soil or whatever you want to use, but they recommend using it with perlite, growstone, clay pebbles. The idea here is just to have like oxygen accessing the roots, and again avoiding having humidity accumulation, mold issues and stuff. Especially with this system, since it's fed at the bottom, it's really important to have this nice mix and very oxygenated growing medium. Once you transplant the pot, you want to give it water at least 7 to 10 days by hand. This is to allow roots to colonize the entire pot before you connect it, because as you will see later, water is only fed at the bottom. So it's important to have a nice root system already in place, so when you plug the system, it will work. So here's pretty much what we have here. Some cool advice here. Pot up your plants. Allow your plants to establish for 7 to 10 days. Just like I said, always raise your reservoir. So this is important when you're using the system. Just make sure the reservoir is a little bit higher than the rest of the system or of the pots. Because it's gravity fed, you want to make sure that there's enough gravity to get the water to the Aquavalve. For the best results, we recommend mineral fertilizers. Organic nutrients will often clog the system, so this is probably one of the major downsides of this system. So they recommend using mineral, very clean nutrients, just to make sure you don't clog or block the system, since the pipe is pretty small. And additional advices here, always use free draining substrates, like I said, just to make sure that there's good oxygen getting to the roots. On the other side here, we have a different layout. So if you're using a 4x4 tent, maybe this one will be interesting. If you're growing in a 2x4 tent, maybe doing it this way is more interesting to you. So it's very flexible. You can use the Autopot system in various different ways. Additional information here, the pieces included inside the 12-gallon reservoir with lid and grommet, 1 filter, 1 T. We have a couple connectors actually, 4 pots, 4 trays and lids, 4 Aquavalve, 4 root control disc, and some pipe. and the instructions obviously. So before we go ahead and show you what's inside the box, I just wanted to let you know that we'll be giving away this system. So if you want to participate, it's fairly simple. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram at WeGrowBuds, and once it's done, just comment below with your name or your Instagram username, and we'll choose the winner in the next video. So I'll just go ahead and open this for you. So first here we have instructions, English version, French version. So maybe we're gonna just take a look at these before I open and get all of the pieces. We're not gonna need French instructions. So Autopot, very interesting. As you can see, you can grow some nice peppers and tomatoes if you guys want some peppers and tomatoes. Also works for cannabis, obviously. Here's a little more information on how the Aquavalve works. I'm not going to get too much into the details. You can take a look at this. It's also available on their website, but it's a pretty smart way to deliver water to your plants. So because of the Aquavalve, they call it a plant. Let me just check the exact term.
2 hours later.
Right, so a plant control irrigation system. This basically means that because of the Aquavalve, I'm gonna show you a little bit later once the system is assembled why they call it this way, but it's very interesting because normally what you do if you're end watering or pretty much any other type of watering, you're gonna be the one giving water to your plant, and so you want to give it, you know, not too much but just enough and everything. But with these, what happened is that the plant is going to drain out the water. Once the water is drained out, it will automatically fill again, and once it's drained out, it will fill again. And so you never put too much, just enough, and it's actually the plant who decides if it needs to add more water or less. So very interesting. We'll get into more details once I assemble it. So yeah, they show other products that they have. The 4-pot system is here, but you can also see that, you know, this is very popular for growers, you know, hobby growers, if you're growing inside a tent at home or something. But they also have some huge systems like the 80-pot, 100-pot, and it can basically be extended as much as you want. I think they say it on the box somewhere here. Well, I mean, you can put as much pots as you want on an Autopot system. So this makes it ideal either for small growers, but also for commercial growers. Autopot XL, you also have the ability to upgrade. If you find those pots to be too small, there is also a bigger version of the pot available. And they are also coming up with a collab with Smart Pot. So it's like the same system, but you can use a Smart Pot, look at like a fabric pot instead of a regular pot. So for you guys out there growing with Smart Pots, if you want an automatic watering system for your Smart Pots, well, this might be a good solution. Other than that, pretty much, yeah, additional information. Everything is available on their website, obviously, if you want to take a deeper look. So I'm just gonna go ahead and unbox this. It's pretty well packaged. So the system is pretty big once it's assembled, but they've made a really good job into putting this very compact. So everything is packed inside of this main reservoir. So I'm just gonna take it out. Here we go. This is the main reservoir, the lid. Inside of this, we have all the trays. Just gonna get this out of the way. Some tubbing, trays and lids. Now, here are the pots, and inside of those, we have a bag with the Aquavalves and the root control disc and all the connectors. So I'm just gonna assemble one pot in this system to show you guys how it's done. So we'll take one of these. Here we go, like that. We'll only need one Aquavalve, a root control disc, and the instructions, of course. Let me just read the instructions a bit. Okay.
2,000 years later.
So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna use this little piece, which is a filter, and the grommet. Now these go inside the main tank. Just need to fit the grommet inside. I recommend giving it a little twist, just like that. Then we're gonna take the tubbing, which is here. There we go. The tubbing, which goes inside of the grommet, and push it all the way through. We're good. Now, this piece goes and connects with the tubbing inside with the pipe, just like that. So now the reservoir is assembled. We only need to put the lid like that. Now the tray, very simple. You want to put the pot inside the tray and the root disc facing down at the bottom of your pot like that. So you put the root control disc facing down. The root control disc will stop root development. So once the roots are starting to try and colonize the rest of your system, once they touch the copper, they will stop their development. And yeah, so this will avoid you having roots blocking the system. So it's very important you do that. Now we're gonna put the Aquavalve. Again, very simple. Just need to unscrew this, place the pipe like this, and there we go. It's all good. We now want to put it at the bottom here, and there's a little pin to make sure this is all solid. So once it's done, we're good to go. I'm gonna place this little lid just to give it a clean look and make sure the Aquavalve is protected. And yeah, that's basically how it works. Now if you put more pots to the system, you can use those little connectors to connect the pots to the rest of your system. And there is also this little tap, which I did not include because I want to keep the system intact for you guys, but basically it goes here. So you just have to make a cut on the pipe and insert both sides. This is just going to allow you to turn off and turn on the system whenever you want. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So in conclusion, I would say that this kind of product is interesting for different people. If you're an indoor grower, these retail for about $200, the 4-pot system. So it is more expensive than using regular pots. However, it is quite hassle-free. It is really different, kind of a unique system in my opinion, very simple of use. So for people who don't want a headache and they just want to fill in their tank and let the system run for a week. Obviously you don't want to let your plants without looking at them for a week, but it's interesting to not have to water them by hand. Autopot is very interesting for that. There are also a lot of extensions available, like I said, so for commercial growers can be great as well. Nice product overall. I hope you guys enjoyed this unboxing. And again, we're gonna do a giveaway for this system. If you're interested, you can participate. You only have to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram at WeGrowBuds, and once it's done, comment below your name or your Instagram username, and we'll pick the winner in the next video. If you're interested in knowing more about the Autopot watering system, we'll put the link of the product in the description, and you have all the additional information there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you next time. Thanks for watching. Have a great one.